Oh crap, I'm late. Hey, Cal. Hi, Sandy. Gotta get a beer. Wait, glasses. What am I, 16? Oh, hell yeah. Jacket.
Hear me. Look at these.
Beer.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mic check, mic check.
And we're live in 3, 2, 1.
Hi, we're Tony and Chelsea. Hi, this is Tony and Chelsea Live. Thanks for joining us, just like every Thursday at 5. Well, pretty much, except for like the next 2 weeks because we're going to be in Glacier National Park.
It's always something. And as per usual, this episode is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform for creating a fast and easy professional portfolio or webpage. If you want to try it out, you can get 14 days free without a credit card or anything. And if you decide you like it, you can get 10% off by going to squarespace.com/Tony and using the coupon code
Photo Live. There's a link right in the description that you can use for this video.
Cool. We've converted some people.
Yeah, a lot of people have moved over to Squarespace, and I haven't heard one negative thing. They just say positive things about it. We'll take a look at a couple of Squarespace websites that people have already submitted to us. And if you want us to look at your own website or photo, either one, go to sdp.io/link, and there's a little form. Well, what's our topic for discussion today, Chels?
Photography, accessories, gadgets, whatever you like. So we wanted to get the discussion started. Which gadgets and accessories do you like? Tony and I have a few here. And
yeah, something other than camera flash, lens, tripod. Anything else is game.
Yeah.
Straps, apps for your mobile phone. That's a huge thing. I love to find a new app.
Apps.
I'd also love to find a good strap.
Yeah. Yeah, I always use the same strap, and I've tried more cumbersome ones, and then I end up taking them off. And then I use the one shoulder strap, and I end up with a sore shoulder. So
Yeah, we have such a large collection of straps that we hated.
yeah, that's true.
You know what else? I'd love to hear some good flash modifiers. We forgot to bring any down.
We tried the Gary Fong. People like that one. We did not.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They were kind enough to send us one to
know.
review, and we decided not to review it because
I
we just
can't
weren't
lie.
fans.
Yeah, I can't lie.
Even if it's free, we're not going to tell you. It's good if it's not. I love the Rogue Flash Bender, though. That one we just paid for.
Yeah, I like
And
that.
I would use that all the time. It's so easy to carry. It works so well.
I have some accessories here.
Show me.
I have some cool stuff. I'm going to
Okay.
start a little unconventional with my headlamp.
Yeah.
I love my headlamp. I like to do night photography. And you end up in the woods and stuff. I strap this baby on. First of all, super cool looking. So everyone's going to know that you're the boss.
Unless you have it upside down like you do right now.
That's probably not true because I'm a headlamp professional. And that way there you can see everything on your camera. You have your hands free. You'll be walking and carrying your gear, so it makes it easier.
Yeah, and if you put it on right side up, you can shine it down towards your feet. Help you walk.
No, this is fine. I'm pretty sure this is
Yeah, you can
fine.
use that to see the stars better.
Yep. See trees, things like that. It's definitely fun. What do you like?
If I had to pick one thing, it would probably be a neutral density filter. Yeah, we have a couple of them here. ND filters let you get a long exposure, and you kind of need a tripod with them. But in broad daylight, you could get an exposure of a second or two.
And they cut glare.
They cut glare.
Yeah, they just make things look a little prettier.
Maybe a polarizing filter. I don't know.
Oh, they don't cut glare at all?
They shouldn't. I mean, ND filters, one of the challenges, people buy cheap ND filters and they do lots of weird things. A good ND filter is totally neutral and doesn't change your image in any way, except cut in the light and giving you a long exposure. But bad ones will do anything, from maybe cutting glare to like shifting the colors. That's a real common problem.
So I like polarizing filters as well, which is probably what I'm thinking of.
I rarely use those.
I like them because they make clouds pop. If you have that nice blue sky and a cloudy day, it can sometimes look a little hazy. You get a lot of reflections. You get a lot of reflections on the water, and they make it look really good.
I used to be a fan, and I just don't like polarizing filters much. When you have the sky in, they change their effectiveness depending on how far away you are from the sun, what angle the sun is to you.
What is that?
It might be my phone.
Tony.
Sorry, I left it over there, and I think it's buzzing every now and then. And so you end up with these weird gradients in the sky where the sky will be kind of white over here and then dark blue in the other corner, and it looks kind of unnatural. So I've just started doing that stuff in post, like pulling the blues down and stuff.
Yeah, I found that it can vary. You can get good results in post. You can get bad results with the filter.
I do break it out sometimes, just not that often.
We haven't been breaking it out at all lately.
I don't know what that means.
We just haven't used it in a long time.
I thought, I don't know why I thought that was some deeper thing.
You thought that was getting sexual?
Maybe.
Okay, what else do we have here?
By the way, just add a comment to the YouTube video and our screener. I think Siobhan's working today, right, Justin? Yeah, Siobhan will paste it into this thing where we can read your comment. I love macro photography work, so I brought down a couple of macro accessories. And the one I recommend everybody get is extension tubes. In chapter 11 of Stunning Digital Photography, 11, 12, we cover lots of different ways to go macro, but my favorite is just an extension tube. They're super cheap, they're hollow, no optics or anything.
Yeah.
And they just let you focus super close, and it works with any lens. It's great, cheap, easy.
You have this.
Yeah, and if you get real serious, if you get like super close-up work, which you might need reversing rings for or something like an MPE, the focusing rails just let you move your camera forward or back or side to side real smoothly and precisely, because when you're focusing on a jumping spider, which is like yay big, you can't focus the camera easily or move forward or backwards easily. This just lets you do it precisely.
Did you use that when you were doing a lot of focus stacking?
Yes, it's tremendously useful for focus
I could see that because you'd need to be pretty precise to make sure everything was in focus.
Yeah, and I think this costs $30.
It looks pretty serious.
Yeah. Sticks on your tripod. What else you got?
Remote shutter release.
Mm-hmm. Again, for the night work.
For the night photography. Long exposures that make sure your camera isn't shaking when you press the shutter button. I guess you could do a delay, but it has other benefits as well. You can go over 30 seconds.
Yeah, and what do you call it? Time lapses?
Oh, yeah.
Even during the day, it's tremendously useful. And I also like them for self-portraits. Because, everybody else starts the 8-second timer and then runs around in front of the camera. I'll take one of those and just set the camera to shoot every 5 seconds.
I use this for my glamour video, actually.
Yeah.
I think did I have a wireless one? I can't even remember.
Usually what I do is I just use the wired one, and I just configure the camera to take pictures forever, every 5 seconds. And then I take my time getting in front of the camera. And then you might have 100 pictures, but you just delete most of them. And this wireless ones, you're going to have the controller on the camera, and you're going to have to think about it and try to time it. But after 4 or 5 shots, you get into the meter of it.
Yeah.
And I just find it easier, more reliable. No need to deal with separate set of batteries and the transmitter and receiver and all that. One less thing to fail.
You like to keep it simple.
Don't spend more than $20 on those. Just get a generic one from eBay. Don't buy the name brand one. They're like $80 and way overpriced. The cheap generic ones, they've worked fine for more than a decade for me. They're great. They have different names, but they're all like exactly the same, just released under different brands. This
is something that I wasn't sure that we would use it, but we ended up using it all of the time. This little mini charger.
Yeah.
Rav Power, that's what it's called.
Yeah, that's the brand.
It has a flashlight too.
That happens to be my favorite battery charger because it's small and fits well into the pocket. But if you have like a Sony camera, they can charge via USB.
Yeah.
So you can recharge your camera on the go. But they're also great for charging your phone.
Yeah, we've charged our phones with it.
Because if you're traveling in a foreign country, you cannot live without your phone. Your phone's got your maps, your translators, things like the photographer's ephemeris and Sunseeker, all these tools you need. and you're using it so much, I found I ran out by 3 o'clock every day when we were traveling in Europe.
Yeah.
And so I had to recharge it. And like one time I didn't have my charger. Remember, it was like a state of panic when we were in Paris because my phone died.
We missed our train and your phone died.
I
And you were
rely
in
on
a
that
state
thing
of
so
panic,
much.
but I had my phone. And then didn't you have to get on
But
some
you
like
didn't have data.
pedal charger or something?
Yeah, they had
Just
a
weird
pedal
things.
charger at the train station
Strange
in
things
Paris.
were happening. You should have had this and you wouldn't have had to pedal.
I forgot it.
Americans don't pedal for energy.
Well, why don't you talk about the Cyber Commander, and I will pull up other people's.
The Cyber Commander. I love this for studio work because I can control all of my lights just from this little remote. So I don't have to go around tweaking everything. I can just go to each light and put it up and down, its power. This has become a favorite of mine. It's simple.
And I love the flash meter in it. It will tell you. The
Oh,
flash
yeah.
meter works so well because it integrates in with the controls, so it can tell you exactly how much output each light is making, and it's so
Yeah.
much better than a conventional flash meter. Yeah, I love the Pulsey Buff stuff just for that little box.
Yes. I like Pulsey Buff stuff.
So here's some other suggestions that people have made. Jerry Johnson says the Lexar memory card hub, which I haven't seen. Let me look it up real quick. And he also suggested the,
That's just kind of, I think I have one actually.
oh, it's just a memory card,
I think it's just a card reader.
but
Why does it look like that?
no, this says that it's a 4-way USB 3 reader hub. Oh, so you can put, oh no, it just looks like a regular. I don't know, Jerry, why do you like that? I thought you could load in multiple memory cards and read them all at the same time. That would often be useful for us because sometimes we read from multiple cameras, but.
The USB 3, would that offload the card any faster? I would think it's only as fast as the card can go, right?
Yeah, you're right, but maybe you could, I don't know, you wouldn't have to go back to your computer. You could run them in parallel, and at least you wouldn't have to worry about it. I don't know. He also, Jerry Johnson likes the cotton carrier.
Oh, well, we've yet to really try it.
Yeah,
We
I
have-
guess we haven't given it a fair shot
No,
yet.
we haven't.
We have some cotton carrier gear, and it's just, we have to give it a fair shot.
Yeah.
It was kind of cumbersome, we found, and so much so that we wouldn't want to use it casually, but we have a wedding coming up, and so I definitely think we'll be strapping down for the wedding because you have all this stuff that you have to shuffle around flashes, and it's serious carrying
Well,
gear.
I would use it for wildlife photography, and we just haven't gotten a chance to take it out with us.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We generally travel a little lighter. Giselle Dupree, my favorite street photographer, likes the Optech wrist strap.
The thick one for her Fuji.
Yeah, I'll pull that up.
Yeah, her. The Fuji isn't that heavy, so I could see that it would be nice to just.
Oh, yeah, that is
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, that's actually, I have used wrist straps before. I haven't seen this particular one, but they're a lot less cumbersome than a neck strap
Yeah.
for a small camera, and it just means you won't drop your camera.
Mm-hmm.
Because I often will just go without a strap at all because I hate neck straps so much. I've yet to find one that I really like. If you have a good neck strap, I'd be curious to hear about that too. Jerry Johnson also says the cam adapter hand strap is my favorite. Another hand strap. Okay, so yeah, Jerry clarifies that his hub does read the different cards at
Yeah.
the same time, which I guess means you wouldn't have to switch them out.
Wait, Bill Peppa said his best accessory is a hot, naked assistant. Does that happen?
I don't know. He's in Greece. They do things a
Hot,
little
like
differently.
attractive, or just overheated?
Maybe they had to take their clothes off because it gets really
It
hot in
gets
Greece.
really. Oh, Greece. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I just imagine some sweaty old guy who's like, God, it's so hot here in Athens.
A sweaty old guy.
Yeah.
And then Bill is like, yeah.
And Siobhan replies, gross, Bill. Good feedback, Siobhan. Big Rob likes his MacBook. Yeah, you kind of do need a laptop for a lot of this stuff. I'm a Windows guy, and I have a little Dell XPS 13, but it's an Ultrabook. It's very similar to the MacBook Airs. And for traveling, I love the really thin laptops. They make all the
They
difference.
make it easier. Darlene likes the black rapid crossbody strap for women. I should try that because a lot of straps are really cumbersome on me. I'm pretty petite and I haven't found one that's comfortable. Wow, you guys have a lot of good accessories.
John Eric's got a new 27-inch iMac fully spec'd out. Jealous of that. If you can get Windows to run on it. Another Optech utility strap recommendation.
That was funny, right, Justin? You threw me for a loop with that one.
Bill Peppas likes his B&W circular polarizer.
Yeah, he likes a polarizer.
Kathy Lowry loves her remote and lens brush. I guess it's a remote like that. Lens brush. Yeah, I should have mentioned my favorite sensor cleaner too. Chapter 5 has a video where I cover how to clean your sensor, and I went through like half a dozen different ways to clean the sensor, and finally found one that I liked. Jerry Johnson shutter releases actually let me shoot. With that one, I can't due to my spinal injury level. They are great. So good. Yeah, something that improves accessibility a little bit is important for a lot of people. Think Tank Photo makes a great rain cover. I never use rain covers. They just get wet. I don't care. Same remote that Christopher Torres likes. Agritech GP ball head Jerry Johnson likes.
Let's check it out, Jerry. Jerry.
Oh, wow. That does look like a nice ball head. I have a hard time finding ball heads too, and
Killer ball head, Jerry.
oh, yeah, that $400 for the head. That must be quite a head. Wow. Yeah, and part of my problem is I'm already invested in the Manfrotto RC2 quick release system, and I hate to get a different quick release plate because then you have one more quick release plate that you have to like keep extras of, and you can't easily switch between.
We're not organized enough for that.
Yeah. Wow. A lot of suggestions here, guys. A couple of backpacks, a low-prow flip side 400AW, the rugged backpack, rain covers.
The Think Tank airport bag is fabulous, says Mike Brath. We should look into that.
Yeah, I could use a decent bag. So this is what somebody suggests, the Low Pro 300AW. Okay. Kind of a big backpack. I have one of these photo backpacks with all the different.
I never use it.
I don't like it. It's so big
Cumbersome.
and bulky.
Yeah, we end up just throwing stuff in a regular backpack.
Yeah, that's just what I ended up doing.
People would gasp if they saw what we do. We just like check a lens in there with some gum and a few Band-Aids, and we head out.
Yeah, that is just what we do.
That's how we do.
William Hall likes the Surface Pro 3. Microsoft Surface. I haven't seen the new Surfaces.
Well,
I had some experience with the first one and was not a fan.
You had to write about Windows 8 on the first one.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we were one of the first people to use the first Surface, and it was a difficult experience, but they could have made some adjustments.
Yeah, that might be better. I don't like tablets either. I'm just not a fan of that format. No. All right. New Mac, DSLR controller app. Yeah, I do like a lot of the apps for the phone that allow you to control your camera. They can be useful.
Colored gels for flashes. David is getting fancy.
Oh yeah, we do use those sometimes, either for special effects or just to match the ambient light in the room if you don't have daylight lighting.
I used it in our levitation video. I put it behind the fireplace to get orange light so that it would look like the fire was putting off more light than it actually was.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
you need those.
I think I've got some tricks up my sleeve.
And they're fun. Alien likes the RF603 wireless triggers. Yeah, it's a Yongno trigger, and they're just kind of a dumb trigger, what they call a radio popper. And everybody should be able to trigger flashes remotely.
Yeah,
you can get in system for like those. I think a set will cost you like $15.
Okay.
And to trigger your camera off flash, trigger your flash off camera is so useful.
What else? We have questions.
Yeah, you want to handle a question? Maybe we should take a look at a portfolio real quick, and then we'll get into the questions.
Okay.
JHC Photography. They seem to be into dogs, or maybe this is just the dogs category.
Dogs.
Oh, all right. So this is how it's laid out. Dogs first, and then landscapes. This looks like.
Wait. So my first impression, we thought that they were a dog photographer. I think I would lead with just your best shots, and you want to lure someone in to your portfolio.
I think this menu up here would be a good place to provide different categories.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're just browsing through and you're not particularly interested in this person but looking for a photographer or something, then yeah, all you would see is the dogs, and you might not even know you have to scroll.
Yep.
So yeah, go ahead and mix it up for the front page, and then let people dive deeper with different categories.
Yes, once you get your hooks in them.
Yeah, if you can get that far. Most people just look at the front page, so you want to leave them with a good impression. You really, well, that was weird.
That was
clicked
weird.
on
What
something
happened?
and it.
What happened?
What are you doing?
We're on a runaway train.
Well, somewhere in here there was
Help.
sorry if you're getting dizzy.
Oh,
There was a picture of a deer. Oh, it was around here. There it is.
dear, but
And he's facing away.
Yeah.
So if you didn't get the eyes, you didn't get the shot.
is that your new, like, slogan or something?
No, it's my old slogan.
Oh, my mistake.
Keep up with my slogans, Chelsea.
I'm sorry.
And then architecture. Yeah, so I guess the big homework here is just going to be
So many categories. Where's my mouse today?
reorganize, pare it down.
Oh, I have it over here. I'll get to your mouse.
Let me try. I want to drive.
Okay, you drive.
Too many accessories. So many. Happy Canada Day. Oh, that's a nice picture. Okay. Let's go to contact. No picture. Oh, there's the picture. Hello. What's this person's name? Liver transplant surveyor.
I guess that's his job. Do you think he just finds donors for livers?
That's a job?
That's all I can guess.
Okay, so it says, thank you for visiting JHC Photography. If you have any questions, please contact me from the form below, but I don't know your name, and there is a picture of you, but you're just like chilling on your couch. So I think you should set up a tripod and go outside and hold a camera or something and get a picture of you that, you know, you look like a photographer.
Yeah, get an
And
action shot of
I
yourself.
want to know your name.
And I hate these forms. Everybody does. An email link, I think, is way better than the form.
Yeah, I feel like they're not ever going to see the form whenever someone makes me fill out a form. I'm like, oh, this is an inadequate form of contact.
Yeah.
Yeah. Photos for sale.
So this is a Squarespace hosted website, and Squarespace gives you
Free
a
store.
free store with every level.
But I think the
With the
first
higher
level, you
levels,
only get like one
you get
item
one.
you can sell, yeah.
It's enough to have somebody put down a deposit
Yeah.
for a session.
That's true.
But yeah, if you just it's only a couple of dollars more a month, get the full store with lots of items.
Oh, okay, so portrait services.
Okay, good. So he's sells prints and
What
services.
is liver transplant surveyor?
I don't know. I feel like that's on the
Click
bottom
on
of
it.
every page. And it doesn't link to anything.
I want to know more. Donate.
Do you want to give him some money? We don't know his name or
I don't know his name. I
Or
don't
why.
give money to people if I don't know their name. All right, let's go to new. Okay. So, my first impression, we come to the page and we're not met with your best picture. So I think on your home page you should have the best of the best. Just 3, 6 pictures, whatever. Just make sure you bring people in. This is a great picture. That should be one of the first pictures that
Yes.
people see. Why is it?
that one has too many people.
This is actually not easy to navigate, which surprises me. For landscapes, I'd say get rid of a lot of these. Like this picture, not as good as this picture. This is probably your best landscape that I'm seeing. So just put your best out there because people will judge you by your worst picture. That does happen.
Yeah, I think I don't even know that he should bother with the categories. Don't you think at this point he should just mix up the categories and pick like his 15 best pictures and just present them in a nice full screen way?
Yeah.
And then, later, if you have so many pictures that you want to share in each category, then you can go back. But like a couple of these water pictures, they all seem like landscapes to
They're
me.
redundant.
And several
too.
of these are like the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of paring down. I would really pick 10 to 15, no more than 15, of all of these different categories
Oh,
and get rid of the categories and just show them all together.
yeah.
And then have a store, have your contact page with a good picture and an email link.
Mm-hmm.
and then get rid of I don't know what the new link is. I didn't really understand that.
Yeah.
And then get rid of the donation link, unless there's some reason I don't know about, but people don't just give money to people.
Yeah, get rid of the donation link because you're also trying to be a working photographer, and it's kind of strange to go to a working photographer's page and they're just asking for donations.
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever come across somebody selling services and just asking for money. He probably has a good reason. Maybe he just set it up because it was convenient.
Yeah, but he's like a liver transplant surveyor, so maybe it's something to do with
we
that.
also don't know what that is.
Cool.
All right, you want to go back and
keep rolling.
check out some people's questions?
Oh, yeah. I like people's questions.
Okay. Jared Kudzia. Tony, I'm going to Iceland in September. Are you going to keep dogging it, or are you going to meet me there to eat cheese product in a volcano? I guess I'm going to keep dogging it.
What does dogging it mean?
I don't know.
What does that mean? Does that have to do with hot dogs?
I guess he feels like I'm dogging it because I'm not going to Iceland all the time.
I want to go to Iceland.
Yeah.
Let's go to Iceland.
Okay.
What's stopping us?
September. Okay, Jared, it's a maybe.
Okay. I would love to go to Iceland, and I'd love to eat cheese in a volcano, so I don't know what's holding us back at this point.
Well, maybe you want to check Jared out and see
If he's scary.
if he's
spooky.
like cool or scary.
Okay. Jared, send us a picture. We want to know a little bit about
non-nude picture.
Non-nude.
In case it wasn't clear. Sometimes our readers, you never know.
Cheese product does not count as clothing. Just want to clear that up.
Yeah, and I only eat Velveeta, which is technically a cheese food.
It's a cheese food. You can't legally call it cheese.
David Kahn asks if we can explain the benefits of using an ND filter to this beginner. I do cover this in chapter 7 of Studying Digital Photography, the landscape chapter.
Landscapes.
In regards to water, though they're useful for a lot of things other than water. But it lets you get a long exposure in bright sunlight.
It'd be good for a waterfall.
Yeah,
because you'd be freezing the motion of the waterfall so that you did not overexpose your picture. So you put on the neutral density filter and you can get a long exposure.
Yeah, that way you can get a 2-second exposure of the waterfall, and then it makes the waterfall turn into nice, feathery things. Normally, with your camera, you wouldn't be able to get more than like a 1/60th of a second exposure if it was sunny out.
Yeah, it's also good for those pictures where you see a crowded city and there's one person standing still making eye contact with the camera and everyone else around them is moving. That's how they do it.
I'm just going to search Google Images real quick, and I don't have a picture of my own. But so here we see a before and after.
Yeah.
The picture on the right is using an ND filter, and so the picture on the left doesn't have an ND filter. It's a short exposure. The picture on the right, all the clouds are moving. The water is silky smooth. The waterfall here is a classic thing. On the left, it freezes the motion. On the right, with the ND filter, all the movement turns into this like feathery look.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a crowded city shot around here. I'm always afraid to go too far down in Google Images.
Yeah, who knows what's lurking there.
Okay, yeah, we're starting to get to that point.
Yeah, why does it always just come to
I know,
boobs?
I get anxious.
How does that even
like,
happen?
oh God, what's going to happen?
Car tire, and like 10 pictures later,
If you have
it's
to
like
scroll
a
like
naked
this
person.
more than 3 times,
Yeah.
yeah, it just becomes boobs no matter what you search.
You could put the safe search on, but then how would you get surprise boobs?
I have the safe search on. Gene Wall, trying to do a selfie for my portfolio website. Any tips on getting the focus on my eye when using my remote shutter release? This is your
I did
topic.
a video on that. You should look up the glamour photography video that I did.
And didn't you do a whole?
Self-portrait.
Yeah, you have a,
Oh,
you
I
have
have a
that, but then you have a
self-portrait video.
self-portrait video too. And I don't
Is
know
that
that
just
it's.
in the book?
I think it's only in the book.
So if you have the book, you could go to,
It's in chapter 6.
yeah, it's in chapter 6. Basically, you're going to need more depth of field so that if you have a shallow depth of field, it's really hard to get your face in focus. So you need more depth of field. And another thing that I did was I used a mannequin, actually a head on a tripod, like a foam head. But if you don't have that, you could even just put a piece of fabric and focus, and then I would get right where I focused on the fabric and then pull it out of the way and put my face there to get it in focus. So
Wig on a stick.
wig
wig
on
on a
a
stick.
wig on a stick. That's right. I do weird things. Sometimes
Foam heads are like $3. So
foam
you can
heads
get
are
one.
$3, but sometimes you don't want to wait around a few days for a foam head to arrive.
That's true. Oh, and they're cheaper if you buy them by the dozen.
Yeah, that's what everyone needs, a dozen foam heads. You could give them to your friends for Christmas.
Vincent, 112 June, old Pro DSLR or new bottom of the range full frame? Which is the best for an upgrade? Both are about the same price issue. So what do you think? Should it get like an old 1D or like a newer 6D?
I think I'd go with newer.
Yeah, me
Because
too.
the technology just changes a lot. There are better autofocusing systems and things like that.
Yeah, I would bet the old Pro would still probably out autofocus, but I'm not
Yeah.
a fan of the high-end big Pro heavy bodies like the 1D or the D4.
Why?
They tend to be lower megapixel
Yeah,
and they're designed for durability,
they're heavy.
which means they're super, super heavy.
Because I have the 1V. It's the film version of the 1D. And it is heavy. It's like a brick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I
for
can see
me,
that.
unless you need that durability, if you need it to be a tank, if you're going to be kicking it around and stuff, then get that. Otherwise, yeah, just go for a used
Yeah.
6D or D610. What polarizing filter do you like? I'm sorry,
I actually
Kathy, I
don't.
don't remember the names
I
of
don't
the
remember
brands.
either. I'm just going to
Just
say.
don't get a cheap one, and don't get a variable polarizing
That's the one
filter.
where you
or,
turn it and it changes
well, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the variable ND
it? Yeah.
filters. Polarizing filters, you always have to turn them.
Yeah.
So it's completely unrelated that I brought that up. But
So
don't
you
get a
just-
variable ND filter. Those are for
Jeez,
videographers.
Tony Northrup. You know how many comments we're going to get now?
Giselle asked if they're going to post a list with links for all these accessories. That would be great. Yeah, I guess we could, but we probably can't
I don't know.
do that right at the moment.
I'm kind of busy, Giselle.
Constantine asks if tube-type teleconverters lose stops of light if they're used. And the answer is yes.
Yeah, they do.
You will need to use a substantially longer shutter speed when you add teleconverters. But that's going to be the case no matter how you focus closely. Even if you use a macro lens or anything else, they're just all going to lose light because that's just how focusing works.
Yeah.
So
MPE. It's crazy.
yeah, you lose tons and
Yeah.
tons of light. You'll be down to like a multi-second exposure when you get close. And you know, I really learned this hands-on when I started shooting old manual cameras.
Yeah.
Because you have to put in the exposure manually, and if you can meter your shot and it'll come in at 1/60th of a second, but then if you focus on something close, then it has markings on the barrel that tell you need to add 1 stop, you need to add 2 stops. Just whenever you focus closer, you just lose light. It's how lenses work.
Stupid lenses.
Yeah. What do you think of the Nikon 18 to 140 millimeter lens? It seems to be so versatile.
It sounds nice, but every time I use a super zoom like that, it always has its drawbacks.
Yeah.
Like it loses sharpness when you're probably at 140 millimeters. If it even really gets to that. Do you think it does? Do they lie about it then, or just when you're doing a super zoom like the 150 to 600?
No, I think it probably genuinely goes to 140. That's the lens that we had on the D5300. And we both liked it.
We liked it, yeah.
For a kit lens, it was a good lens and versatile. It's travel. Yeah, it's never optimal sharpness. It's just not.
But it's nice when you're traveling when you just know that you wouldn't want to bring 3 lenses with you everywhere you went anyway.
Yeah,
And
if
in
you're not the type
fact-
who's going to like carry a bag and go in there and like switch your lenses,
Yeah.
you'll just get more shots with the super zoom because you'll be able to switch instantly. The quality won't be as great. So there's
Yeah.
a trade-off. It's no
Yeah.
compromise. You want to take another question and then I can pull up some pictures to review?
Yeah, are we just going in order, or it seems like you're going in order?
Yeah.
I like to kind of...
You
look
pick and
around.
choose.
Tony, I have a question. How fast can a cheetah run? I think 55 miles per hour.
That is an odd question. I'm just going to pull up a couple of pictures to look at. Here's a picture from Bill Peppas.
Bill Peppas, I heard he has a
Which just
hot
happened to
naked
be the most-
assistant.
So it's a beautiful landscape. I think the focus here is on the sky and the gradient that's in the sky. It's really beautiful.
I'm sorry, I just have to look up how fast a cheetah can run.
I think it's 65 or something like that.
I'm going to go for 72. We'll make this a contest. No Price is Right rules, though. None of that
Oh,
BS.
yeah. Oh, only stuff that benefits you. 60 miles per hour. So, Justin, we're both right because you said 65 and I said 55.
Yeah.
And you, I don't even know what to do with you anymore, Tony Northrup.
Yeah, but I I used to raise
Oh
fast
no! Oh, I'm
cheetahs.
sorry. That's not right.
Yeah, it's probably 72 or whatever it is. I
Oh
said.
my gosh, you are right. I was looking. The first result came up for a roller coaster called the Cheetah, and I just didn't read because I was rushing. And I was.
This is the internet era, people.
This
Just
is
whatever comes up
how
first.
you get misinformation. 70 to 75 miles per hour.
Oof!
Ah,
I nailed it.
amazing.
They can go
I am
from-
amazing.
They can go. Oh my god, they're fast. We should get one of those. Okay. Anyway.
You know, what I want to suggest, Bill, for this picture is maybe even a vertical crop. And I don't have Lightroom open or anything, but to me, the subject is the gradient here and the reflection. And I think maybe if you went vertical on it, can you see? Imagine that.
A little bit.
Swiss precision.
Ooh.
So this, I like the square composition here because he, I think, wants to use it to reinforce the kind of stately, formal nature of this watch. And it is
Yeah.
kind of a conventional watch.
I would go black and white
Yeah, I think black and white's a
because
good
it's all
idea
about
for
the
that.
lines. It's about that circular shape and.
And I'm going to have you just think about the lighting a little bit more too, because the lighting here is just very flat.
And I think I would also crop out that negative space on the right and just cut into the strap.
Yeah, so we have some shadow over here in the background, which is just unnecessary and distracting. But also,
Yeah.
anytime you have a reflective subject like a can or an iPhone or a watch or
Yeah.
a lens, you want to use that reflection. Otherwise, you can't even tell that there's glass there, and there's glass here. So you want a little bit of hard light to hit that and show the shape of the crystal over the watch. That's going to be real important. And you have soft light. I can tell from the shape of the shadows and the fact that there's no hard reflection on the
Yeah.
glass. You need to introduce some hard light source.
Like a headlamp?
Yes, something simple like that could work perfectly. Just a bare bulb could work.
Headlamp strikes again.
What I'll often do is either use a black card or a white card
Yeah.
and hold it so that it's reflecting in the glass surface, because then you'll get a nice clean line across the reflective surface from black to white. And anytime you look up, like if we look up a picture of an iPhone now,
Why is it broken?
okay, I can't look up a picture of an iPhone because my,
That
oh,
was
weird.
strange.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Okay, so this is a perfect example. You see this white to black here? That shows the reflective nature of the front element, and this is a white card here. Somebody's holding a white card just so that it happens to hit that exact angle.
Let's look up a watch.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Let's look up a fancy watch.
Um,
These are stock, not actual.
Yeah, where's the reflection?
yeah, so
There we
this is
go.
one with a nice reflection on it, and you can see without that,
That looks
Well, this one-
photoshopped. Why is it all
it is
really? It looks weird and wavy.
Here's another one where they use the light to show the shape a little bit. But when you start to get into product photography like that, this is another perfect example of what I was talking about, how they use the white card.
Is that even a human? What is that?
Seriously, I predict in 10 years models are going to be out of work mostly, and it will all be CG, and that might be CG. I don't know. But it's got
maybe?
weird green here too.
That person's
Touch the
terrifying.
screen. Here's another example of that white card.
But it's not on a lot of them.
No, I'm not. Well, yeah, but a lot of these are kind of boring shots. Like, that's fine. It tells you what it looks like, but it's not an interesting shot. Okay, I lost my tab. Oh, there we are.
Oh, we're back. Now what?
This is another photo that somebody inserted.
Everyone's always saying hello to you on Facebook. Let's click out of that.
Sorry, Shadra.
She's like, I love this chair. Oh, chair.
Yeah, it's a charming pose. Great set, beautiful outfit, gorgeous
I love the
blurred
colors.
background. Yeah, it looks like a perfect kid's portrait. I can't.
It's styled
think of
well. Her
anything to
dress
critique
matches
about it.
the style of the chair.
Yeah,
The chair matches the background.
nice, consistent mood.
Hmm.
Very nice. Sorry, for the watch guy, I had like a whole dissertation that I could provide of critique. That photo, I thought, that's a good shot. I guess that's a good sign.
I like this picture. It looks like she's trolling him. Like he's like crying and she's like,
Yeah, you're right. That their mixed expressions is the first thing that popped out at me
yeah,
too.
like he's like,
they
my
seem
dog
to-
just died, and she's like, killed him.
The other thing that popped out at me is the back of her hand.
But she's showing off her wedding ring. It's an engagement shoot.
I guess so, but I don't know.
She's happy, and he's like, I'll never meet other women again. Let's go. There's more of them. We have to
You're
at least.
projecting a lot.
We can't just say that and leave it there. Let's see like the fourth one.
Oh, well, I think he just wanted us to look at that picture.
I
but
refuse. That one's really nice.
Yeah,
I like that one.
kissing shots
That one's
are
weird.
hard. Of these, I think this one is my favorite.
Really?
No, not for you.
You're wrong.
Which
but
one is your favorite? I like that one too. That's nice. Good context and setting.
I like where they're both smiling.
She again, maybe she just has a little bit of an evil grin.
No, I know. She's evil. I like this one. I think this one's nice. They both look happy. They're making eye contact with each other.
Yeah, I like that one too.
But this one I love for all different reasons. She really looks like she's going to ruin his life, and I think that's funny.
Is there something you're not telling me? Seems like you kind of imagine that every woman is ready to ruin
I've
somebody's
been
life.
upfront evil with you since day one, and you've been into it.
So here we have an environmental portrait.
Yeah. Oh, look, he does, he has the
Looks like he's
blue
doing
mic.
podcasting
He has
or
the
something.
same mic as us, and
Yeah,
he's
we
got
have
the
that
little
same mic and screen.
windscreen.
Yeah, so it's nice that you have some context in there. We can kind of see him in his environment. Yeah, I think it's a very nice portrait. I wish his expression said something a little more distinct.
Yeah,
I like his head tilt, but he could be inquisitive. I would say it depends on the type of podcast that he does.
Oh, he does podcasts?
I don't know, maybe not. But I assume that the
I just thought he
computer
heckled
and the
people.
mic are there because they're telling a little bit of
Yeah.
story. And so like we've had quite a few DJs in our studio, and I always talk to them about what their show is like, what the attitude is, and if they're a comedic show, then we'll do something kind of silly, kind of fun with them, And like Lee
Can I say that
Elsey,
again?
Lee Elsey does a very like serious political show, so he kind of took a more serious stance and kind of gave an expression.
Like a 90s rapper? Tony, what do you think? What kind of show do you think he does based on everything happening in this picture?
I would say he does a mostly silent show. Like, don't you think his expression doesn't tell you anything?
Yeah.
That's what I want.
I
Like,
think
give
he
me...
reviews video games. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Let's look at what people say, because they always make me laugh. Right, Justin?
They do.
Okay. Tony and Chelsea, who is your favorite comedian?
That's like really telling. Once people know. I don't know. Who's your favorite? I like Louis C.K., but he's been so sad lately that like his show just makes me cry now.
Yeah, is there an opposite of a comedian? Like, what's the word for somebody who just wants to make you cry and make you hate the world?
Oh, Louis.
Yeah, Louis. His show is such a bummer.
No, but I love his show.
I think he's great, and he's a huge bummer.
Yeah, but he's funny, but also like makes you hate yourself as a human being.
Well, now I can't think of his name. The writer that we've gone to see perform. We saw him in Providence.
David Sedaris?
David Sedaris.
He's a
I'm sorry, I
humorist.
blanked on his name. Yeah, I don't know that he's
He's a writer.
a comedian.
Yeah.
And Stephen Colbert,
Oh, there you go.
God.
one of the funniest people on earth.
If I
really
was
has to be.
not married to you, I would be married to Stephen Colbert.
And not even just because of the Colbert Report, which is a really well-written show, but he
Strangers with
wrote
Candy?
Strangers with Candy.
That
And if
show's
you haven't
so
watched
good.
Strangers
Amy
with Candy,
Sedaris. You love Amy Sedaris.
yeah, I have a huge crush on
Who
Amy
is
Sedaris.
You would be married to Amy, and I would be married to Stephen
Maybe
in
we
our
could
dreams. I mean, they don't know
hook
about
up a
this.
little on Thanksgiving, get them drunk, and sneak away.
I mean, we should totally swing with them. So I guess we answered that question and told you way more information than you wanted to know.
Also, I feel like if we did swing with them, I'd be very popular and you'd be a little bored.
You think everybody would be with you and I'd just be crying in the corner?
I don't know. I don't mean to imply anything about David Sedaris, but I've read a couple of his books and picked up a few things.
I don't want to swing with David. Stephen Colbert.
Oh, well, he's not related. He wouldn't be a... Oh, you wanted... Oh, all right. But they're not a couple. Colbert and Amy Sedaris.
Yeah, but Amy Sedaris and David Sedaris are brother and sister.
This...
I mean, what are you trying to do? Like, this is like incest.
No, I didn't mean to... I am so sorry that we went down this path.
Where are we going? I also like Amy Schumer because she always takes like a lot of comedy is really sexist and she always turns it around. It was really uncomfortable at first because she was making fun of guys, which comedy is usually making fun of women. And then you see it reversed and you realize how crazy, ridiculous, and sexist our society is. But she's super funny and very crude, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that show, Justin?
Yes, I've seen it. Have you guys seen like that Anthony Jeselnik or whatever?
I know the name.
Is that the one where
So dark.
He's
He's just very dry. He's great.
If you can't hear him, Justin is suggesting Anthony Jeselnik.
Wait, is he the guy? He does that show where he does these like really dark pranks. Like he had a kid go up to someone on Wall Street and be like, "Why are you ruining our lives?" Or like, "Did you steal today?" Are you
That
talking
seems
him?
about right. I have not seen that, but
I watched that show and it like took me to a dark place. I couldn't watch it.
it sounds like a Wondershausen.
Oh, it was Wondershausen. That's what I saw. That show like made me not want to be human anymore.
Yeah, that's a show that I like, an old MTV show called Wondershausen, which is very strange. I also like Broad City, which is a more recent
Oh my
show.
God, Broad City's good.
Yeah. Most people will not like that.
Jerry Johnson, like he got the question. He got
Yeah,
us
I guess
knowing.
so. Fetzinger10 asks, what are our thoughts on UFO photos? Fake, legit, are we alone in the universe? He doesn't think we're alone in the universe. I think that we love space. We watch videos on physics all of the time. We love Stephen Hawking, and the universe is almost infinite. So how could there not be any other life? Yeah, so I
don't know.
It seems there has to be other life out there, but that's kind of a separate question from whether there are UFOs.
I think that UFO photos are all fake.
Yeah, I think all UFO photos are fake. I'm just going on a limb. And I'm an
I've
Air
seen
Force
the
brat.
interviews with people, and they're like, "Well, I was drinking beer, and I looked up, and there was a big old light, and then I passed out, and who knows, my butt hurt." Like it's always like that, and you're like, "You're drunk."
And I hate to
Irresponsible.
keep suggesting TV shows, but William Shatner has a show called Real or What? Is that what it's called?
Our photo was on that show.
Yeah, okay, we were on the show. But, no, Weird or What?
Weird or what?
Weird or What?
Weird or what?
And he actually does a great job of investigating these kinds of things. And he did a lot of UFO photo
Yeah.
Weird or What things. And they take you down this path where first they interview the person talking about how they took the photo and what the situation was. And then they bring in an expert who provides a scientific explanation for the photo and everything they've seen. So it's like a roller coaster of emotion where you're like,
"Maybe
UFOs
it's
are
real."
real. And then by the end of it, you're like, oh, that poor guy.
Yeah, then the expert comes in, you're like, wow, I'm easily influenced. Yeah.
So that's part of the reason that I feel like I can dismiss all the major UFO sightings. And
Yeah.
yes, I've investigated them because I'm into that stuff.
When I was a kid, I was really scared of UFOs because of like unsolved mysteries and stuff. Thought they were gonna probe me. You guys never worried about being probed? I'm alone. I'm truly alone.
Well, we should take a look at another portfolio. William Lauzon Photography.
You were really brave about that last name.
Yeah, I just go for it, and usually I'm wrong and hurt somebody's feelings.
I like this picture.
Yeah, I love that it starts out with a nice, brightly colored photo. This is a great way to start it. Wow.
Very cool.
Good use of spot color.
Oh my God.
Great use of it.
We need to show him to the world.
Also, great shot. Beautiful colors.
He's on a roll.
Okay, good. And not too many photos. Thank you.
Thank you.
Check out his nature work. See, and now I wanted to dive in a little
I
bit
did.
deeper. It
I
left me
wanted to.
unsatisfied.
It's
I'm
like,
like, I want
oh.
to see more.
This guy's got it going on. What's happening? He likes 2 flowers. Huge birds. Good. Oh, I love that picture.
Yes, this needs some paring down.
Oh,
I love the buffalo there. The sky looks just gorgeous. I feel like we could get rid of all these flower photos.
All right.
I don't mean to be hard on flower photos, but
Flower photos are hard. I mean, we tell people that all the time.
okay.
What's
Event
happening?
photography. Well, it looks like event photography. Looks like,
This must be a prom.
Yeah, I was gonna say
just
probably prom.
confused because that girl was wearing a little tiara. She threw me for a loop.
Yeah, some girls use any excuse to bust out the tiara.
Why don't they just wear one to bed like I do?
This, I think, we see the same group of 4 girls a couple of times.
Yeah, get rid of them.
This, I really like
cool.
this shot.
Yeah.
That's a great shot. Interesting colors, interesting angle. Yeah, and the last one's a good shot too. So overall pretty good. Maybe a little bit of
Still a lot
paring
of
down
good
that you could do.
pictures.
Yeah, there are a lot of great
Wow.
shots in here. We always say in any given category, we want to see a lot of diversity. We don't want to see too much
Of the same
that's similar,
theme.
especially in a row.
Yeah.
And these first few photos, like the first 3 shots here, first 4, all
Seems
have
like
the same uniforms at
day,
least.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't want to feel like it's all from one single shoot. So go ahead and mix up the sports, alternate the sports,
Yeah.
alternate the teams, a little more variety. Maybe go out and get a couple more examples. What was this category? Portraits.
The first.
Yeah, these 2 are both great. They're both
Yeah.
very similar.
Yeah, I would just get rid of the second one.
Oh, really? It's a
Yeah,
different
it's the
person,
same
right? Or is
person.
it's the same guy? Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess it is.
I guess you didn't notice, so maybe it's okay.
But yeah, I don't like to use 2 pictures of the same person, though I do.
You love to take pictures of me.
It's because it's you. But definitely mix it up at least. Alternate it with other people.
Okay. I would read out some of these. He's got some great ones.
Yeah, this could definitely be pared down a little bit. That's a good kind of cool environmental portrait.
No.
I like that one. The cat is pretty. Remember to start with your best and end with your second best. Let's check out his about page. Oh, it's got a nice little story there. I like that nice square portrait too. It's thoughtful.
Yeah.
And his contact page. You gonna write him
Where's
a
it
note
from?
today, Chels? Canada?
That's my guess.
Cool.
No email then, huh?
I can't think of anything good to say. I don't want to disappoint him.
Okay, let me just
Oh my gosh,
See
can
if-
you believe it's 6 already?
oh my goodness. Well, I want to read what William had to say about Squarespace because he's hosting on Squarespace, or maybe you will read it for me.
I have loved Squarespace since I started using it. I was able to easily create a professional website while having a large level of control. The customer service is second to none, and overall, it's great, stress-free service.
Yeah, and we also looked at John Craig's website, right? He said great website, great support. Who else did we look at? Jolene Harris says easy to use, much easier than Wix, SmugBug, Blogspot, all the ones I had tried previously. That
I've
was
tried
my
a bunch
experience
previously too,
Yeah, we tried a lot.
and I'd always be like, Tony, will you just fix this for me?
Yeah, and there's nothing to fix on Squarespace. And if you do need somebody and I'm not sitting next to you, then you can contact the
The Care
Bear
Bear
Lair.
Lair,
for
24/7 support. I heard it's good. I haven't had to use it.
They always get back to you in a day, but they usually get back to you within an hour. And that was my experience. They got back to me in less than an hour and fixed the user error because I just screwed something
You
up.
messed up.
Yeah, I do that. Anyway, they're our sponsors, but we also love them. And if you feel like setting up your own website, it's completely free. Where do they go, Chels?
Squarespace.com/Tony and use the coupon code.
Photo Live.
Yeah.
And that'll get you 10% off if you decide to pay for it, but you get 14
Yeah, you
days.
get 14 days. You don't have to put in a
No credit
or
card.
anything.
Yeah.
It's fun to set up. Even if you know you're not going to buy it, I'd say still try to set it up because it helps you choose your best pictures and it can inspire you to take more. Like I wanted a street photography category and I only had about 5 pictures, so I took a bunch more. So it's just a good exercise.
Yeah, and beautiful full screen layouts like the one
Yeah.
we just saw. And they work on every mobile device. It's just great. One more testimonial here from Samuel White. I'm new to Squarespace. I thought I'd try it out after a long, frustrating search for online portfolio sites. So far, I'm pretty impressed. My trial period still has 10 days left. Still debating whether I should continue the account. I would appreciate a review. Thanks. So yeah, you can sign up, use it, and then if you if you don't like it, no risk at all.
Yeah.
You only pay if you actually want to keep it going.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to do anything else before we wrap it up? Do you want to see if there's any new questions in here,
There's a lot
comments?
of questions today.
There's tons.
Yeah. Yeah, Vincent here says that the liver transplant surveyor, maybe he meant to say liver transplant survivor.
That seems interesting too.
Yeah.
Maybe that makes more sense.
Oh, John Eric wants me to get an Apple still. I don't know why people care.
No, we can't do that.
So many people.
He also points out that this monitor is glossy, and yeah, we every time we come in here, we talk about covering
it.
up the back of the monitor because we hate the Dell logo being on there.
Wait, yeah, we will. We'll cover that up. But Mike says if we're ever in Dubai, we should ping him. I don't know what pinging is, but I totally want to go to Dubai.
Ping is
Ping.
it's one of those acronyms. I can't believe I don't remember what ping
People
is.
in
No.
no.
Well, it's an acronym from back in like the 60s internet
Oh.
protocols.
Oh.
It sends an ICMP packet out, and the recipient is supposed to send a message back just to let other computers know they're
okay.
online. And I can't remember. I'm so disappointed.
I'm disappointed too.
Darlene Watkins, I want to take this opportunity to let everybody know how grateful I am for the community of folks that are so generous to share their knowledge and encouragement. Hands down, SDP is the best.
We do have a great
Thank
community.
you,
of
Darlene.
people.
That's
Thank
Stunning
you.
Digital Photography, our book back there with
Yeah.
over 9 hours of video.
Yep.
It says 7 on the cover. You can pick it up either at sdpcommunity.com or just at Amazon.
Yeah.
And you get to join our community. Lots of reviews and
We do have a good community.
yeah.
Sometimes things get dramatic too, which can be a little spicy. I want to dress as an alien and probe Chelsea. Who said that? You scroll.
Jan Eric,
Jan!
this is what you get from Apple people.
And Siobhan said gross, and I agree with Siobhan, but also you know that that's a fear of mine. Wait, someone said guacamole. Where was that? Do you like guacamole? I know, it's besides the point. But I've already become addicted to this stuff lately. Are you kidding me? Guacamole is a food staple, and I pity any person who has never had guacamole.
I'm a Texas boy, and
What
the
does this
first
mean?
two food groups at the bottom of the food pyramid.
First you have guacamole, then you have formula or breast milk.
No, you've not been to Texas.
I've been to Texas.
At the bottom one,
Yeah,
Velveeta,
that sounds unhealthy
And
and,
then-
dangerous.
guacamole,
Okay, I'm on board with
and
that.
then
Chips,
beef and other cow products,
beef, and then guns
and then guns,
for shooting
rounding
Velveeta.
out the pyramid.
Yeah.
Yeah, for when you hunt down your own Velveeta in the wild.
I even taught my daughter to make guacamole. She makes a mean guacamole.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's actually guacamole.
you're right. GUA is supposed to be pronounced like a W usually.
Yeah, guacamole.
We butcher that.
I do it intentionally.
Zachary Scott has a good question. What cards would you recommend for 4K on the GH4? If you have a GH4, they record 4K, and everybody thinks you need a super fast card.
You don't.
That has not been our experience.
That has not been our experience.
We put the cheapest SD cards we have in there, like 400X cards, 128 gig storage, and they worked perfectly well. We have shot so many hours of footage with them, never had a problem. But like everybody else before I got it, I went out and bought an expensive fast card because I thought I needed it. Waste of money, just get a cheap card.
Just get a cheap.
There, I saved you a bunch of money. You can use it to
Save,
buy Stunning
bam.
Digital
Buy
Photography
a book. It's got me on the cover, and I'm like,
or a Squarespace
Drowning.
portfolio.
okay, here's a good one. Any tips for taking pics of cars? And we just talked about this the other day.
Yeah.
And our friend told us that his friend was taking professional pictures of cars. I mean, like $5 million Ferraris, really awesome cars. And they took this huge white reflector and they used it to light the car. But if you're on a budget, which probably might be, you can light paint the car. And that way you highlight all of the lines of the car and it really pops and it looks good.
Yeah, chapter 10 of Stunning Digital Photography talks about light painting.
Yeah.
You have a long exposure, so you have a full 60 seconds to light up as much as you want. You can run it along like the most prominent creases on the car.
Yeah.
You know, think about the design. You can underlight it if you want to, and you can do it all with one flashlight, super cheap.
Yeah.
We were talking about making a video about car shows and a couple other car things. We'll do a whole series
We
of
should
car
do that.
videos.
We should do cars. We
Because
love
I just
cars.
love.
We
I'm
do
just
love
an
cars.
addict with
Can
cars.
do you still remember when someone told us to get a minivan?
That was really.
That kicked me right in the
painful
call.
moment.
The car lover cojones.
Mm-hmm.
You see the follow-up to Ping?
No,
What's
what?
ping?
Jan Erik Advertsen says, doesn't ping come from submarine terms? They ping to sea, but I believe that's radar specific. And then
I think it's like
I don't know what you're
packet
saying.
internet gopher or something. Now I need to look it up.
Paul Vesey says ping me just means instant message me.
Packet internet grouper.
Gopher.
So here's the thing about old Unix nerds, and these are the guys who kind of invented, DARPA,
What?
the Department for Advanced Research Projects in America in the 60s, they launched a project to allow universities and government agencies to communicate over long distances. And this eventually became the internet. And so over the decades, we worked up a bunch of standards. And by we, I mean like hardcore computer nerds. And hardcore computer nerds have this ongoing joke where we make up acronyms that are dumb, just dumb, or
It's
they're
a
recursive
joke?
acronyms. So Packet Internet Grouper, yes, it's named after the sound that submarine sonar makes, ping, ping,
Yeah.
but it is kind of an acronym. Another one is MIME, M-I-M-E, is that right? Which was, maybe I'm getting this wrong, but no, Pine. I'm sorry. Pine is an email client on Unix that replaced an email client called Elm. Elm, of course, was named after a tree, and it's also an acronym. But Pine stands for Pine is not Elm. So that's the kind of
Whoa.
jokes.
You internet nerds are pretty cool.
Yeah. So
I thought you invented the internet.
no.
Oh. Look, I just feel like I just want to bring up something interesting, and that's that you used to talk to the Lance Armstrong.
I did.
As a kid, you were friends with him, and you two talked on your almost internet on your computers.
Yeah, we didn't have an internet. We had bulletin board systems, which just went over regular phone lines. It was all peer-to-peer. But yeah, he was 15 and I was 14. He lived in Round Rock. I lived in Pflugerville. And we were in the same area code, so we could dial each other's computers for free. And we were both hardcore nerds.
What
We
a
both
way to make
cycled a lot, but
friends.
he cycled way more than I did.
Yeah, it paid off. He's done some things.
I was, before he was famous, I was always impressed with his name, because his name is so much cooler than mine. Lance Armstrong versus Tony Northrup. Like, where would I be if Lance Armstrong was my name?
We're
He's
meeting with a
unstoppable.
cool photographer named Danny Diamond, and that is a real cool name.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, we should get back to it. Someone asked us if we like Dr. Pepper, and I love Dr. Pepper. I love questions about food and comedy.
Coca-Cola's so much better though.
You
There's
like
so many
Coca-Cola?
sodas that are better.
You like Coca-Cola better than Dr. Pepper?
Of course.
What
I
about
feel
you,
sorry
Katie?
for you.
You settle it.
How about Pibb? Do you like Mr. Pibb?
It's just like Dr. Pepper.
I know, but
just
it's no,
Pepsi's
it's a no.
version or whatever. Coke's version.
No, nope. It's a little different and it's better.
I drink water, coffee, green tea, and then various forms of alcohol.
You're
Nothing
right.
else.
We hardly ever drink soda. Maybe
Yeah.
like 4 times a year, but I prefer a Dr. Pepper or a root beer if I'm going to go there. Okay. And Justin likes Coca-Cola. You're so American, Justin.
I wouldn't waste the calories.
It is a lot of calories.
If I'm gonna have those calories, it better have some alcohol in
It
it.
better get me drank.
Or caffeine. Well, I guess soda has caffeine, but I'd rather have coffee.
All right.
Would you recommend Squarespace for non-professional photographers who just want somewhere to upload travel photos and photo blogs?
Actually,
You kind of did that.
I did a travel blog a little bit half-heartedly while we were away. I'm at chelseanorthrup.com, and I love Squarespace for it. You could upload it on your phone, which was nice. If I wasn't so bad at texting, it would have been nicer because I'm just a little bit clumsy. But yeah, it was really fun, and it's a good way to... You don't want to keep posting to Facebook, I feel like, because people get tired of you, and some people get a little bit annoyed if you're posting your travel pictures. So it's nicer to just have that blog there and say, hey, if you're interested, you could check these out. And a lot of people did, so I totally recommend it for that.
I want to answer Denise Dyer's question.
What's her question?
Do you have any recommendations for getting good focus while in a boat? And the number one thing I see people doing on boats that I think is silly is they will set up a whole tripod on the boat.
Yeah. Ooh.
It makes no sense to stabilize your camera on something that's moving. You're better off actually hand holding it because your body
You can
absorbs the
move, yeah.
movement. And so your body is really the best tripod you can have. And then, yeah, just,
Higher shutter speed.
yeah, a faster shutter speed, but it doesn't need to be too unreasonable. I've taken
No,
lots of
no.
pictures from boats. It's not
Yeah.
really that hard. I guess maybe we're on a cigarette boat and it's going really fast or something, but
That would be awesome.
I'm assuming you're like on a ferry or a whale watching
Okay.
cruise or something. It's not so much a problem. Any other questions before we wrap it up out of here?
I don't know. What time is it? We don't want to bore them. It's 6:11.
Used Canon 7200 f2.8 without IS, or used Canon 7200 f4 with IS, or should I say for an f2.8 with IS? For me, I would not get the Canon. I would go for the Sigma or Tamron
Yeah.
7200. They're cheaper. They have IS, and they'll probably hit the same budget. You get they're actually better image quality than the Canon. They're
What
not
did
as
we
durable.
decide? We like the Tamron or the Sigma better? I can't remember.
We like the Tamron a hair better,
Yeah.
but the Tamron's a hair more expensive.
Okay.
So they're all worth what you pay for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely. I mean, it depends how you're shooting it, but I love image stabilization in that range.
Such Tony, very hair, much silver, so fox. Wow. We got Dodge here. Oh, and Giselle wants to have a guac off with us, and that seems like a great thing to do.
Okay.
We need to do that. We need to teach people how to make guacamole so everyone in the world can be happy. Do you remember when we tried to get Mexican food in Japan? Those people are deprived. We need to bring the guac to Japan.
Yeah, that was a really weird experience. Yeah, we really do
It
need
was a
to
poor choice.
get together with Giselle in New York.
Yeah.
We keep meaning to, and we just have like every weekend is booked up and
I
such.
know.
And we're heading out to Montana real soon too.
No.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
I think it's time to wrap it up. Thanks so much for joining us. Normally we're here every Thursday at 5 o'clock Eastern, but as we mentioned, we're going to be in Montana for a while, and I think
At
we're going to have to
Glacier
miss
National
2
Park.
shows.
So we're going to have some good pictures to share, hopefully, if we don't get rained out on
Yeah.
our photo days.
And definitely some great travel and landscape videos.
I'm going to bring an ND filter.
Yeah, I will definitely bring an ND filter.